valley without staying down there with him to keep him there. Want me to outline them for you? Number one, Negroes in Philadelphia live in segregated housing conditions, just like Negroes in the South. And whenever you segregate a minority, you can discriminate against that minority. The minute you segregate a man, you have the key in your hand that would open the door to discrimination. And so when you get people off in ghettos, what happens? You give them the worst houses, and they pay higher rent for those houses than other people. Now, you know that housing problem brings about another problem. It messes up our schools. You know, it's a strange thing about life. God made it that way, though, and I'm glad he did. He put an interrelated structure in reality. You can't hold a man down in the valley without staying down there with him to keep him there.
Yes. Yeah, it is, but I can, Evelyn, the person back there on the soundboard, can probably make that available. I know we can. You mean like to use in a story? I would. Hi, how are you?
How are you?
What's your seat?
Where's that?
Well, I think there's one available right on the end.
Want me to outline them for you? Number one, Negroes in Philadelphia live in segregated housing conditions, just like Negroes in the South. And whenever you segregate a minority, you can discriminate against that minority.
Hey folks, I just want to bring to your attention the video that you're watching was Dr. King here 60 years ago on August 3rd, 1965. So it's particularly fitting to be here. But this is part of the tour he was doing, but watch it before we start. Where do I have? Here.
Now, you know that housing problem brings about another problem. It messes up our schools. You know, it's a strange thing about life. God made it that way, though, and I'm glad he did. He put an interrelated structure in reality. You can't hold a man down in the valley without staying down there with him to keep him there.
Thanks. You should continue talking.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, you just let me know when you want me to start.
outline them for you. Number one, Negroes in Philadelphia live in segregated housing conditions, just like Negroes in the South. And whenever you segregate a minority, you can discriminate against that minority. The minute you segregate a man, you have the key in your hand that will open the door to discrimination. And so when you get people off in ghettos, what happens? You give them the worst houses, and they pay higher rent for those houses than other people. Now, you know that housing problem brings about another problem. It messes up our schools. You know, it's a strange thing about life. God made it that way, though, and I'm glad he did. He put an interrelated structure in reality. You can't hold a man down in the valley without staying down there with him to keep him there. Outline them for you. Number one, Negroes in Philadelphia live in segregated housing conditions, just like Negroes in the South. And whenever you segregate a minority, you can discriminate against that minority. The minute you segregate a man, you have the key in your hand that will open the door to discrimination. And so when you get people off in ghettos, what happens? You give them the worst houses, and they pay higher rent for those houses than other people. Now, you know that housing problem brings about another problem. It messes up our schools. You know, it's a strange thing about life. God made it that way, though, and I'm glad he did. He put an interrelated structure in reality. You can't hold a man down in the valley without staying down there with him to keep him there. Outline them for you. Number one, Negroes in Philadelphia live in segregated housing conditions, just like Negroes in the South. And whenever you segregate a minority, you can discriminate against that minority. The minute you segregate a man, you You have the key in your hand that will open the door to discrimination. And so when you get people off in ghettos, what happens? You give them the worst houses, and they pay higher rent for those houses than other people. Now, you know that housing problem brings about another problem. It messes up our schools. You know, it's a strange thing about life. God made it that way, though, and I'm glad he did.
If everyone would take their seat, we're going to get started in just a couple minutes.
You can't hold a man down in the valley without staying down there with him to keep him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. No.
What's outline them for you?
Just when we start, maybe, if that's okay.
Number one, Negroes in Philadelphia live in segregated housing conditions, just like Negroes in the South.
Lorraine?
And whenever you segregate
Where did you get to?
a
Lorraine
minority,
Ballard Morrow?
You can discriminate against that minority. The minute you segregate a man, you have the key in your hand that will open the door to discrimination. And so when you get people off in ghettos, what happens? You give them the worst houses, and they pay higher rent for those houses than other people.
Lorraine?
Now, you know that housing problem brings about another problem. It messes up our schools. You know, it's a strange thing about life. God made it that way, though, and I'm glad he did. He put an interrelated structure in reality. You can't hold a man down in the valley without staying down there with him to keep him there.
Let's get Karen. Yeah.
Please talk.
Outline for you. Number one, Negroes in Philadelphia live in segregated housing conditions, just like Negroes in the South. And whenever you segregate a minority, you can discriminate against that minority. The minute you segregate a man, you have the key in your hand that will open the door to discrimination. And so when you get people off in ghettos, what happens? You give them the worst houses, and they pay higher rent for those houses than other people. Now, you know that housing problem brings about another problem. It messes up our schools. You know, it's a strange thing about life. God made it that way, though, and I'm glad he did. He put an interrelated structure in reality. You can't hold a man down in the valley without staying down there with him to keep him there.
Yeah. Steve Farrow, where are you?
Number one, Negroes in Philadelphia live in segregated housing conditions, just like Negroes in the South. And whenever you segregate a minority, you can discriminate against that minority. The minute you segregate a man, you have the key in your hand that will open the door to discrimination.
Ryan is.
And so when you get people off in ghettos, what happens? You give them the worst houses, and they pay higher rent for those houses than other people. Now, you know that housing problem brings about another problem. It messes up our schools. You know, it's a strange thing about life. God made it that way, though, and I'm glad he did. He put an interrelated structure in reality. You can't hold a man down in the valley without staying down there with him to keep him there.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let's try that again. Good morning, everyone. That's awesome. I am so delighted to be here with you today. I'm Lorraine Ballard-Morrill, Director of News and Community Affairs for iHeartMedia and Board Chair of Global Citizen, and it is my honor to serve as your MC this morning. Thank you for joining us today at Temple University's Performing Arts Center for the kickoff news conference for the 31st Annual Greater Philadelphia Martin Luther King Day of Service. This year's theme, Dr. King's commitment to civil rights through equity and education, could not be more timely. For 31 years, our region has honored Dr. King not only with reflection, but with action, making this the oldest and largest King Day of Service in the nation. We are so honored to have many wonderful speakers here today, and we're going to kick things off by hearing from a leader whose organization embodies the spirit of grassroots activism and civil rights history in Philadelphia. Please welcome Karen Asper Jordan, president of the Cecil B. Moore Philadelphia Freedom Fighters. Okay. All right, let's change that up. We have a very interesting, all right, let's try again. Okay, yes, I can do this. All right, let's start again by welcoming. It is especially meaningful that we are here at Temple University, which will serve as the new regional signature site for the King Day of Service. Please join me in welcoming Valerie Harrison, Vice President for Community Impact and Civic Engagement at Temple University, who will provide our official welcome. Valerie, thank you.
I appreciate that. Good morning, everyone, to our distinguished sponsors and guests and students. We are glad to have you here. our partners at Global Citizen, and everyone else gathered here, welcome. I am Valerie Harrison, Temple University's Vice President for Community Impact and Civic Engagement. On behalf of our President, John Fry, we welcome you to Temple. As Philadelphia's public university, we're honored to host this year's King Day of Service, and we are delighted that the focus this year is educational equity. This cause is at the heart of who we are and why we exist. Temple also is a fitting place for this convening because 60 years ago, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stood in this very building and delivered a message that still matters today. We must continue to challenge unjust systems and remove barriers to access and serve others even when it is difficult. So we thank you, Todd, for the opportunity to serve alongside you this year at the King Day of Service. And again, welcome to Temple University.
All right, we're just kind of rearranging things. So, once again, I'm just so honored to introduce our next speaker. It's a special honor, I think, for us to be in the presence of someone who's really living history. Karen Asper Jordan, president of the Cecil B. Moore Philadelphia Freedom Fighters, was just a teenager when she and other teenagers and activists came together to try to desegregate and integrate Girard College. And because of their incredible activism and their spirit and their commitment to equity, Girard College was integrated. And so here she is, living history. Please welcome. Take two. Karen Asper Jordan, president of the Cecil B. Moore Philadelphia Freedom Fighters.
They switched that up on me. I thought I was the last speaker. I wanted to say welcome and thank everybody for coming. You know, when they talk about Dr. King, the day that he spoke here in Philadelphia in August, we were arrested coming down 22nd Street for desecration of the American flag. We were holding the flag upside down, and one right side up, upside down flag is a sign of distress. And the police lied on us and said we stomped the flag, we spit on it. I got 6 months probation for that offense. So a lot has gone on since then. The fight for equality and justice never changes. And at this day and age, we're feeling so disheartened about what's going on. But we have to realize we've been through more than this, some of us, as long as many of us have lived. And to the young people out there, you're our future. You're going to make the difference. Because of you, we continue. Humanity continues. And I think one of the things about morality and ethics, just look up morality, look up morals, and look up ethics. And judge them by what you see today. We talk about Dr. King. Oh, everybody wants to talk about Dr. King. We didn't all agree with Dr. King. The nonviolence was the main thing when we were coming up as teenagers we didn't agree with. We weren't violent people, but we believed in self-defense. And none of us, none of the organizations that were around ever attacked the police, didn't throw things at them, and didn't incite riot. And there are some of the charges that we were always charged with, no matter what we did. Assault and battery on a police officer, disorderly conduct, breach of peace, those kind of things, they were par for the course. You young people, you're going to be faced with a lot of challenges, but education is the gateway to your success. And if there's a young person in your classroom that may not be doing well, you can help them out. If you're the smartest kid in the class, to young people, don't make them feel bad because they're the smartest one in the class. Embrace them. You can learn something from them. When I was in elementary school, I got tired of the kindergarten because I couldn't carry books. And I made up my mind that I was going to the first grade. I got kicked out of 3 first grade classes. They took me to the principal's office, and that was at Reynolds School at 24th and Jefferson. I was in the first grade that day. The principal asked my teacher, "You think she can do it?" Teacher said, yeah. And I was in the first grade that same day. So that was back then. I don't think you can do that today. But it was what I had in me that made me realize that I knew what I wanted, and I went forward. And this is for all of you to remember. It's what's in you. When we joined the picket line, we came with something. We were influenced by Cecil B. Moore, Dr. King, but we didn't come as blank slates. And don't ever think you're a blank slate. You bring with you what you have inside of you. And your morality and your morals, you bring that with you. So I just want to say I'm proud of all of you. I love your artwork. I thank you, and you're our future.
Thank you, Karen. Each King Day concludes with one of Philadelphia's most cherished traditions, the Martin Luther King Jr. Tribute Concert. Please welcome Ryan Fleur, CEO of the Philadelphia Orchestra.
Good morning, and thank you, Lorraine. We are proud to take part in the City of Philadelphia's Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service in partnership with Global Citizens Greater Philadelphia MLK Day of Service with the 36th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Tribute Concert. This concert takes place obviously on Martin Luther King Day on Monday, January 19th at 3 p.m. after you've all had a chance to participate in the day of service in Marian Anderson Hall at the Kimmel Center for the Performing Arts. We are grateful to PICO, the performance sponsor for this year's MLK Tribute Concert, for their continued commitment to supporting arts, education, and community impact across Philadelphia. And we also want to thank our lead community engagement sponsor, Independence Blue Cross. This year's concert is especially meaningful as it's the first time it's being performed in Marian Anderson Hall since the rededication, which allows us to honor the shared legacies of Dr. King and Marian Anderson, two towering figures whose lives were shaped by courage, artistry, and an unwavering commitment to justice. Led by conductor Thomas Wilkins, the program features powerful works from Black composers, the voices of local students from the Philadelphia High School for Creative and Performing Arts, and the Girard College High School Choir, narrator Charlotte Blake Alston, and pianist Clayton Stevenson, all coming together to reflect Dr. King's belief in the unifying power of music. Dr. King's legacy reminds us that now, more than ever before, we need to turn reflection into action through music, service, and community connection. So this year, we are proud to launch a community food drive in partnership with Philabundance at the Kimmel Center on MLK Day, inviting audience members to support by bringing non-perishable food items for our neighbors facing food insecurity. The concert is free, but tickets are required and are available now at philorch.org. We invite everyone to join us, to listen, to reflect, and to serve on a day that continues to call us towards justice, unity, and hope. Thank you, and see you on MLK Day at 3 p.m.
Stand by. Thank you, Ryan. And I think that Philadelphia Orchestra's commitment to the Martin Luther King Day of Service is a great example of the connection between art and social justice. And that's where we're going to next, because one of the most powerful moments of today's program is the unveiling of the student mural, inspired by this year's theme, Equity in Education. This moment is especially meaningful as we honor the meaningful, extraordinary leadership of Jane Golden, who will be transitioning out of her role at Mural Arts Philadelphia to, I'm sure, bigger and greater things beyond. For more than 3 decades, Jane has helped transform our city into an open-air gallery, using art not just as a beautification, but as a force for social change, justice, healing, and civic dialogue. Jane's work has shown us that public art can challenge injustice, elevate education, and inspire collective action. Please join me in welcoming Jane Golden, founder and executive director of Mural Arts Philadelphia, along with the incredible student artists whose work reminds us that the next generation is ready to lead with creativity, courage, and purpose.
We've known each other since back in the day, so thank you. But I'm not really retiring. You all know that, right? Like, I'm just doing something else. Because I love our city. Rewiring. Oh, that's interesting. So creative. Thank you. It's like really sad because we've been doing this for 25 years. Oh, I'm sorry, my math was off. 29. Maybe I'll come back next year as a volunteer and do this because I love it. So this year, the theme, as you heard, is the purpose of education. And Dr. King's message was that education is essential for thinking critically, morally, and thinking with great integrity. I love our collaboration with Global Citizen over the years, during which we've worked with so many different schools, with students of different ages, in the city, outside the city. Not only is it highly educational and inspiring, but we get to play a really small but mighty role in amplifying Dr. King's legacy, and that means so much. And I'm really grateful to my friend and colleague, Todd Bernstein, for just carrying the torch for so many years. Can we have a round of applause for someone who's really tenacious and driven, and it's so important. What I've learned in this job is without people who really push, things can easily not happen. So Todd, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And each year, like, we have this tradition where some of Dr. King's writings challenge young people to interpret and illustrate them, keeping his words relevant and then turning the brilliant words into works of art. And this year, we had some wonderful teaching artists, and I'd like them to stand. Athena Scott and Sydney Carter, 2 fabulous artists, teaching artists, muralists, all around wonderful human beings. We love you. And they've guided students from 1st to 9th grade across 4 diverse educational institutions, and I'll name them now. Al-Aqsa Islamic Academy, Barak Hebrew Academy, Paul L. Dunbar School, and AIM Academy. Can we have a round of applause for great schools? These students have created impactful designs that not only celebrate the teachings of Dr. King, but underscore the value of education. Let's remember that education is one of the foundational values of democracy and true freedom. And I want to thank you again, Athena and Sydney, for all you bring to young people all the time. And I want to extend my gratitude, too, to some of the teachers from the schools, because it takes a village to do this work. Noel Abdallah from Al-Aqsa, Madison Stanton. Oh, could you raise your hand? Noel? Madison Stanton from Barak Hebrew Academy, Inga Brown from Paul Dunbar School, and Caitlin Schlosser from AIM Academy. Your passion and creative approaches have been instrumental in bringing these images to life. And I know that she's going to be here soon, but I also want to just personally thank our mayor, who I think is extraordinary, and I thank her for just everything she does. She's so spunky and alive and wonderful and passionate, and she supports the arts. Yeah. In a few minutes. And I want to also say that I want to acknowledge, as Lorraine said, I'm in my last stretch here, the privilege of doing this job and the honor of being part of an organization that believes that art is like oxygen, that believes that art should be everywhere, that it's really for us a matter of equity. So from schools to rec centers to businesses to prisons to hospitals, you name it. In this city, hi. I was just talking about you. Yay, Mayor Parker. Oh, Mayor Parker knows that I like to jump. That we believe that art should be everywhere, that everyone should be able to walk out of their homes and see beautiful works of art. I love galleries, I love museums. I don't think art should be there exclusively. And every young person, everywhere in the sound of our voices and far, far beyond, should have access to art education. That's around, yes. Yay. And so we are thrilled to present today's murals about Dr. King. Each banner that you're going to see is a reminder that education is not confined to classrooms or textbooks, but it lives in creativity, in empathy, and the courage to imagine a more just and beautiful and impactful world. And I believe that all the young people who are here today, who I thank from the bottom of my heart, have a role in shaping this world. And this is why murals matter. They represent our lives. In a sense, they're co-written and co-authored by people in the city. Our lives, our heroes, our histories, our memories, our triumphs, our struggles, all of it. Our dreams manifest are in walls throughout Philadelphia. Just right down the street, there's Grover Washington. Turn another corner, and we have Sonia Sanchez. Go across the city, and you see a Martin Luther King mural. You don't have to go that far to see the mural we created with Karen about the freedom fighters and Cecil B. Moore. They are the autobiography of the city of Philadelphia, and there are more than 4,400 of them. Created by you. Dr. King was a giant, and his spirit lives on in all that we do. And there's a quote that I love, and it's that we row forward looking back. The past is set in daylight. Let it be a torch that we carry into the night that is the future. I want to thank our project manager, Donnell Powell. Where's Donnell? We love him. You're amazing. And our director of community murals, please stand up, Phil Asbury. And now guess what we're going to do? We're going to look at art. So I would like all the schools to please come forward. Al-Aqsa, Eric, Paul Dunbar, and AIM, everybody. And everyone behind me is going to have to go out there to see our work of art. And guess what? You're going to get an interpretation of the art. So you're going to be like you're in a museum, but you're here. Okay, great. Everybody come on up. Come on up. Raise those murals. Would everyone like to come around and see the work?
Yeah, come on, we want to see.
Okay. Remember, raise your Okay, so now we're going to drop them. All right, Al-Aqsa, drop yours. Okay. All right, Barrack Hebrew Academy, AIM Academy, and Paul Dunbar. Okay, everybody can drop theirs now. Raise it high. And here they are, these beautiful works of art. Please absorb this, because this is every year they're beautiful, and this is the most beautiful. One more round of applause. Okay. And now we're going to have our interpretation section. So I would like Khadija Ahmad from Al-Aqsa to please start our remarks. Khadija.
Good morning. My name is Khadija Ahmed, and I'm a student at Al-Aqsa Islamic Academy. To me, education is one of the most powerful tools used in the world. It helps us learn and grow, build a better future. But sadly, not every child gets the same chance to learn. And this is where equity in education becomes important. Most people confuse equity with equality, but they are not the same. Equality means giving everyone the same resources. Equity means giving each student what they need to succeed. Imagine 3 students trying to look over a wall. If all 3 stand on the same box, only the tallest one could see. That is equality, but if each student is given a different number of boxes according to their height, then all can see. That is equity. In many parts of the world, children cannot go to school because of poverty, disability, gender discrimination, or lack of school buildings. Students come from different backgrounds. Some may lack of school buildings. Students come from different backgrounds. Some may have learning difficulties. Some may be new to a language, and others may not have access to technology or support at home. Imagine a future where every child has access to quality education, where no student feels invisible, and where differences are seen as strengths, not weaknesses. The future begins with equity. When students feel they belong, they grow stronger and dream bigger. Hopefully, that is what our mural showcases, the equity in education that we all deserve. Thank you.
Really beautiful. Okay, and now we're going to hear from Dylan Gower from Barak Hebrew Academy. Dylan.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dylan Gower from Jack and Barak Hebrew Academy. Equity in education means having the ability to ask for and receive help, regardless of what your needs are. It's about inclusivity where everyone deserves an equal chance, despite where you come from, your education, your strengths, or weaknesses. I believe it is very important for people to be able to have the resources they need to succeed. For example, if you have a learning disability, there's options for your specific questions and accommodations. I am very grateful to have great teachers who always help me when I need guidance or assistance towards reaching my goals and give me the resources that I need to do so. Speaking of opportunities, my peers and I had the chance to collaborate in the creation of this mural. Throughout the process, my classmates and I individually painted sections and designed symbols to represent what equity in education means to us. After all of our drawings were combined into the layout of the mural, we then joined together to incorporate our school's values and Jewish culture as a whole. The entire process of making the mural was full of excitement, happiness, and community. We are beyond proud of the piece we share with you all today. Thank you.
Again, that was beautiful. Okay, and now I would like to introduce Addie D'Amico from AIM Academy. Addie!
My name is Addie, and I am proud to represent my classmates at AIM Academy today. We had the amazing opportunity to work with mural artist Athena Scott and Mural Arts Philadelphia to create this mural together. It was a great experience to brainstorm ideas about what equity in education mean, collaborate with Athena, and see how she was able to take our ideas and bring this artwork to life. Our mural is inspired by the teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who believed that education should be more than just getting ahead. He taught that true education includes knowledge, character, critical thinking, and learning how to care for others in our community. AIM Academy helps us learn to thrive with our dyslexia, our small class sizes, caring teachers, and being able to learn in the way that supports our differences is how we are able to confidently go after whatever future we want, whether it's college, the workforce. This mural represents our resilience, perseverance, empathy, and opportunity, and shows how education can support all learners in growing and succeeding.
Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, I would like to introduce Andre Pride from Paul Dunbar School.
Equity. I thought equity meant during a pizza party, one student got one slice, but other students got two more. But during this project, I learned that equity would be if Mrs. Scherf, my math teacher, asked our class individually what toppings would we like on our slices. The process at first was hard because I had to think about what equity meant to me. But after talking to my Uncle Rob, he made me understand equity better. Being a part of this project made me feel included because I was able to paint and draw, which is something I enjoy doing. I added a heart to our mural because love is equity. I would like to say thank you to Sydney, Teacher Eno, my friend Justin, and Mrs. Brown.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the schools, to the artists, to Todd, all of you who are here. Mayor Parker, we love you. And finally, everybody, I just want to say that art ignites change. Thank you. Woo!
We're going to miss that Jane Golden hop, aren't we? Yeah. Thank you, Jane, and thank you to the students. You continually surprise and inspire us all. Every year, I think the murals can't get more beautiful and more impactful, and yet here we are again, the most extraordinary art created by these young people. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the person whose vision helped transform Martin Luther King Day into a day of service here in Philadelphia. Please welcome Todd Bernstein, President of Global Citizen and founder and director of the Greater Philadelphia Martin Luther King Day of Service. I'm also very proud to say that Todd is my good friend. So please welcome Todd Bernstein.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for all being here. Valerie Harrison and to John Fry. We started talking about being here last spring, and it has been an incredible organizing experience. The great support of your team throughout Temple. And again, as you said, in this very space, 60 years ago, Dr. King spoke on his Freedom Now tour, a national tour campaigning for civil rights. And if you saw the video, it was stunning and very encouraging and I hope contagious. But we're here to announce that we will be here on January 19th for our signature project for the region of Greater Philadelphia. I want to thank our sponsors who are tremendous: Independence, Blue Cross, and really 45, including United Way and Amazon. We, in fact, could not do this without you. And to our co-chairs, some of whom are here, and I'd just like to recognize them. I see Dr. Keith Leapart from Jefferson, the great pastor, Alan Waller from Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church, a longtime supporter, Ken Lawrence from Highmark, Ed Hazori, somewhere, he was sitting there, he's now sitting there, who is also a board member of Global Citizen, Reverend Bonnie Camarda from the Hispanic clergy, and I would also like to recognize Fire Commissioner Jeffrey Thompson, who I think is in the back. Fire Department has been one of our longest serving partners, and we're indebted for that. And I know that Dr. Ayla Stanford is here, and she's over there from the Black Doctors Consortium, who has been a long lifetime partner from the beginning of COVID. And to me, really in many ways, the most important is acknowledging our team, led by Campbell Bird, who may be in the back. There he is. Please give him a round of applause. And to my other colleagues, Julius Honey, Karen Williams, and Roberta Frempong. Can you please acknowledge them as well? They're working tirelessly and with passion, particularly over these last 12 days. In 12 days from now, more than 100,000 volunteers of all backgrounds and ages will celebrate Dr. King's legacy of civil rights and social justice by turning their concerns into citizen action. And I think that with the overarching theme of a commitment to equity in education, this is one of the more appropriate places to be in the city, which serves so many students and turns out great active citizens. Now, Dr. King had a commitment to civil rights through equity in education. He believed that a quality education is a fundamental right for breaking cycles of poverty to achieve social change. Now, we've seen so many examples of progress through the years, but even today, there are still inequities and barriers, efforts to even erase American history, like racism, slavery, Jim Crow, and the benefits of diversity, equity, and inclusion, three very important words. So here at Temple, I want to point out our one particular project. Independence Blue Cross will be leading an effort of volunteers assembling book arts. And this is one of the finished book arts. We will be creating 25 of those on King Day. They will offer free books to organizations in local underserved communities, which is very special. And we will also be creating literacy kits that will be distributed to families throughout the city through our own Global Citizen Reading Captains program, which is a partnership with Read by Fourth. I want to acknowledge our partners in this effort. From Home Depot, we could not be more pleased and appreciative. Habitat for Humanity, Treehouse Books, and Book Smiles. These book arts will come with books, and they will be replenished on a continuing basis to promote literacy. So we're excited about that, and we're excited about having the mayor join us that day. Temple will host dozens of projects and workshops that will require pre-registration. But there will be a number of projects here on hand that will offer the public an opportunity to come to the Health and Wellness Fair, the Kids Carnival, and the program that Karen Asper-Jordan will be running at noon, a rally for peace and social justice. And also in supporting Dr. King's fight for economic justice, we will hold our 14th annual Jobs and Opportunity Fair with up to about 40 local employers with real jobs, Mayor, real jobs, not just interviews, but they are prepared to hire. So we're delighted about that. So there is still time to sign up at mlkdayofservice.org, including hundreds of projects throughout the region. And I would just kind of lastly say that the King Day of Service is not just a birthday celebration. It's an opportunity to make Dr. King's legacy of social justice and civil rights our mission too. Not just one day on King Day, but every day with what Dr. King used to say is a fierce urgency of now. And with that, my last duty and the fun duty that I have every year is to introduce Mayor Parker, a tremendous leader a leader to promote civic engagement and harnessing the resources of our city, of human capital to get things done and create change. And the mayor will also be announcing the winner of the 28th annual Harris Wofford Active Citizenship Award. So Mayor, please come forward, and I will present you with the first official t-shirt, even though our friends from the 4 schools were here wearing them. And I would also just like to give them special props because they're extraordinary students from extraordinary schools, and they did great work. So here is the first shirt for the mayor.
All right, come on over here. Hey.
And of course, on the back, the people and the active citizens, the corporate citizens and nonprofits who make all this possible.
Thank you. Anybody try to take my shirt? Oh, that's right. We do have to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me start by saying hello and to each of you. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. Todd, when I was on my way, I was trying to figure out how best to describe what this 31st annual Greater Philadelphia Martin Luther King Day of Service means to me as a human being, but as mayor of the city of Philadelphia. And Val, the best way I could describe it, Steve, because I'm a visual learner, how many of you here saw the movie Black Panther? If you saw Black Panther, just raise your hand. Okay, so if you saw Black Panther, you'll remember when the movie opened. Prince T'Challa is being challenged for the throne. He's on his way to become the leader, and he's challenged by M'Baku. M'Baku comes from another tribe, and he's like a giant, and Prince T'Challa looks up at him, and they begin fighting. And at first, it seems like it's going to be a fair fight, but in the middle of the fight, M'Baku seems to be getting the best of Prince T'Challa. And it's almost as if when you're watching a movie, you're like, oh, you're gonna be the prince forever, but you're not gonna be the king today because you're losing this fight. But then, all of the villagers, if you remember the scene, they are standing in the mountains. And it looks like they are in a theater and on each level, and they're all shouting. And Angela Bassett, who plays the mother, everyone seems to get quiet just for a second. And she shouts, "Show him who you are. Remember who you are." On today, that is the best way for me to describe what this 31st annual Martin Luther King Day of Service means to me as mayor of the city of Philadelphia. We come together as one Philly, a united city, one America, a united nation, to show the best of who we can be, and that everyone, no matter their race, their class, socioeconomic status, zip code, religion, sexual orientation, or identity, that when we work together and we're making a contribution to do anything of goodwill for the benefit of others, that we will be successful in doing it. So it's important to me now that we give a super huge round of applause to you, Todd, your legacy, global citizen, what you've done to, one, make Philadelphia the home, because we were the first. Listen, this is a good year for Philadelphia. We're the first to so many things here in our city. And your leadership, it's the largest celebration, not just in the United States, but in the world, taking place here. So Todd, and to Steve and Jane, Ryan, and Karen Asper Jordan, chills every time we think about the work of Cecil B. Moore and carrying on that legacy. So I am excited. I am also excited to be able to affirm to you on today that the city of Philadelphia, in a very tangible way,
is actively engaged. And continuing that tradition in a way that people can see, touch, and feel is extremely important. So our city representative, Giselle Jones, is here, and I'm proud. Give Giselle a round of applause. I am proud to affirm, I just left, for those of you who don't know, the School District of Philadelphia was just hosting this morning its State of the School District. So the School District of Philadelphia, Dr. Wadlington, Board President Streeter, Vice President Sarah Ashley Andrews, along with our Philadelphia Department of Recreation, the Fire Department, Kelvin Jeremiah and the Housing Authority, the Water Department, and the Department of Revenue. They are all stakeholders in this day of service. And I want you to know that the Links and the Deltas are going to be there joining us too. I just got to say that for the record. So Steve, I'm going to be with you all. I'm going to be with the Independence Blue Cross team. We're going to be helping to lead volunteers here at Temple. So Val, you and Joe know I'm on a mission in the morning, right? To come here to help assemble those book arts that will offer free books to community organizations throughout the city. And for anyone who's wondering why a book is so powerful, I've just got to 30 seconds give you this personal testimony. When I was a junior in high school, I had suffered a great deal of loss during my elementary, middle, and high school years. A high school English teacher told me that I needed to do two things. I needed to read some books by some people who had stories that were very similar to mine, and it would help me to escape some of those challenges that I endured. These people would become my best friends. And when I say it, people say, your best friends. Well, who were they? They were Maya Angelou and Sonia Sanchez and Intozaki Shange and Ann Petrie and Alice Walker. There is so much power in the ability to be able to read a book and to be able to go, to travel in time. You can visit any place in the world with the mental passport that you give. And listen, your socioeconomic status or your current circumstances, when you are reading, there is equity and equality there, because no one gets an opportunity to take from you what you learn through reading. So that's why Independence Blue Cross, I'm excited about the book arcs. Give them a huge round of applause. Please, please. And now, Todd, this is the good part. The Harris Wolford Active Citizenship Award, and the person doesn't know, nobody leaked it to them. They really don't know, do they?
That's really big.
All righty. It's named for former Pennsylvania U.S. Senator Harris Wolford, the co-founder of the National Martin Luther King Day of Service, along with Atlanta, the late great Atlanta congressman and civil rights icon who taught us how important it was to get in good trouble, John Lewis. Harris was a lifelong champion for civil rights and national service and was a very close advisor to Dr. King. And Stevie Wonder was just on television recently talking about what it was like to tour and advocate for the implementation and establishment of the holiday. So this award is presented annually to a person or organization who has been long involved in the Greater Philadelphia King Day of Service and embraces the legacy of Dr. King through social justice and civic engagement every day. Who is it? I have the honor of presenting this 28th annual award to Dwayne Hirschberger. Dwayne? Oh, good. He really didn't know. We got you, Dwayne. Yeah, right. Now, Dwayne, while you're here, listen, Harris's son, Dan Wofford, who is the chair of PennServe, The Governor's Office of Citizen Services is here today. Dan, where are you? Dan, come on up here, please. Come on up here. Legacy. Thank you for sharing your father with us. The legacy and the work. So, Dwayne, I'm so happy. You had to see his face. He was like, yes, you. And let us tell you why. Dwayne discovered the impact of community involvement through nonprofit organizations while he was a college student. He has worked for decades, both locally and internationally, with a very important organization. And every time I think about this organization, I think about Jimmy Carter. And I can, even in 1976, when we were celebrating, I remembered him advocating and talking about the need for housing. And that's Dwayne's work with Habitat for Humanity. Give them a round of applause. Dwayne, for many years on King Day, you have either participated in Philadelphia activities along with a global citizen, and on 8 occasions, and we checked it. I said, how many? They said it was 8 occasions that you helped to build houses in Central America. So during the rest of the year, he donates his time by traveling the world, leading Habitat for Humanity and Fuller Center for housing building projects for those who are in need. And you embody for us, which is why you were chosen. You embody what it means to be an active citizen. It's a verb, it's action. It requires participation 365 days a year. So on behalf of the Global Citizen and the Greater Philadelphia King Day of Service, I am proud to join Todd, Dan, and present you with this 28th annual Harris Wolford Active Citizenship Award to Dwayne Hirschberger. Congratulations.
Mayor, thank you.
Come on.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
My dad would be very proud of you. You're hammering injustice.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Mayor and Don and to Todd. One of the memories that I cherish is the years that I worked with Habitat International in Georgia, and I would occasionally volunteer to take people back and forth from the airport to Americus, where the headquarters were. My job one day was actually to pick up Harris Wofford and take him back to Americus. And I'd had 2.5 hours in the car with Harris Wofford, and I will always treasure that, the stories that he told and the things that we shared. Todd, Mayor, thank you so much.
I'd like to give a shout out to Mike Harris from the Phillies, who's another one of our supporters here today. Thank you, Mayor Parker. I think as we ruminate, we think about Dr. King's legacy, certainly the mayor is a prime example of the ripple effect of his extraordinary leadership back in the day, and here she sits, the 100th mayor of the city of Philadelphia. A mayor who's made civic engagement, education, and equity central to her vision for Philadelphia, and is also a proud co-chair of the King Day of Service. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. You know, every year the Harris Wofford Award is given out, and every year, somehow, Todd, you manage to surprise the recipient. The look of shock on everyone's faces when they receive it is just priceless. So really, kudos to you. And now the King Day of Service would not be possible without partners who deeply believe in health equity and community well-being. Please welcome Steve Farah, Executive Vice President of Public Affairs and President of Government Markets at Independence Blue Cross.
Thanks, everybody. Just what you want to hear a corporate guy at the end of this inspiring event. We have these icons, we have these inspiring young adults, and make us look forward to the future. And then here I am, following our great mayor to bring it down. So I want to thank you, Todd, for that. Hey, I have this privilege because we're so like-minded, all of us in this room, but especially my colleagues at Independence, Blue Cross, and AmeriHealth Caritas, to partner with this treasurer, Todd Bernstein, and everybody associated with this event. So let me, on behalf of Kelly Munson, our new president and CEO, my great colleague, Lorena Marshall-Blake, my colleagues here in the room, with a special shout out to Courtney McDade, who really runs this for us in this work with Todd and Global Citizen. I thank you. I'm really glad that I have the privilege of having the mayor present, because you said something when I was in the comfort of my own home and you were freezing on New Year's Day during the parade. If you remember, the parade, all the pageantry, a lot of the pageantry was lost because of the winds. And the mayor touched on this, and it hit me right in the heart. You know, it was, yet, for that pageantry it was lost. All these dedicated public servants, mummers, men and women, everybody came together to make what makes Philadelphia special on New Year's Day happen. And it was so Philadelphia. You referenced, it was so authentic, the joy and the camaraderie. And it wasn't textbook, because what Philly does is never textbook. It wasn't pretty in the sense of what was planned to be pretty, but it was so impactful. And that's what, to me, what I took from your remarks about what today is, or I should say Martin Luther King Day, and what we in Philly represent. Because so much of what Philadelphia does is not just what we're doing, it's how we're doing it. That inclusiveness that's been the theme of today has been what happens, about what makes Philly special. That may be the grittier way, the not prettier way, but the way that still touches people's lives is what makes Philly special, and what the world will see again all through this year. And yet, on the celebration of Dr. King's life, we're going to come together. We're going to come together to honor his legacy in a truly and only way that Philly can do it, to make our community better, and doing so, making ourselves better as individuals, which is really what he was challenging us, but in turn, making our nation better. So it's with all that I say to my friends, my new friend Valerie, our friends at Temple, all of my friends and icons in this room, thank you for having us be part of it at Independence. You really make what makes Independence special, special. So God bless you all. Thank you, and we'll see you on the...
Thank you, Steve, and thanks to Independence Blue Cross for your extraordinary civic participation in the heart of the city and supporting the King Day of Service. As we close, remember that King Day is not just a holiday, it's a call to action. The 31st annual Philadelphia Martin Luther King Day of Service will take place on Monday, January 19th, with Temple University serving as the regional signature site, and hundreds of projects across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware will be in action. To volunteer to register a project, visit globalcitizen365.org. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. And thank you for helping keep Dr. King's legacy alive through action. Thank you so much.
That's exactly. Oh, no.